Hello and welcome to Realms Edge Gaming. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the article that dropped today and talk about why it was surprising as well, because I'll be honest, it's caught me totally off guard. If you've not already subscribed to the channel, if you could do so, that would be amazing. And if you could drop a like below, I'd really appreciate that too. So without further ado, let's get into our episode and catch up on the major plot points of the Broken Realms saga. So, as a bit of a disclaimer straight away, there are spoilers in this, so we're going to be discussing the plots of each of the Broken Realms so far, and then talk about why the news was strange as well. So, the Broken Realms series so far, I've absolutely loved. It's been absolutely brilliant, and it really has kind of lived up to the hype as well. But the article today has really surprised me because what it's done is it's confirmed that the Book 4, Kragnos, is the final book in the series. So what we'll do is we'll talk about why that is odd and a little bit strange, and then try and predict why some of the factions might not have appeared yet, and which ones we will see. So as we all know, Broken Realms Marathi was telling the story of how Marathi kind of pursued her ambition to attain godhood. And in doing so, she kind of broke the alliance with Sigmar. She ended up weakening the restraints on Slanesh, and then his followers went into a frenzy of destruction, in which turn it awoke the newborn. So in this book, we had featured Daughters of Cain, Cities of Sigmar, Stormcast, Slaves to Darkness, and the Ideneth Deepkin. Next, we went on to the Teclis book, where Teclis decided to punish Nagash, and in doing so launched a kind of offensive campaign into Shaiish. The Mortarks fell apart, and during the battle between Teclis and Nagash, Nagash is defeated. In this book, I kind of disagreed with the Broken Realms website because they stated that the factions that appeared in this were Maggotkin of Nurgle, Cities of Sigmar, Flesh-Eater Courts, and the Ossiarch Bone Reapers. They didn't once mention Legions of Nagash or even the Lumineth Realm Lords, which I found really bizarre because the whole book's kind of named after Teclis. And then we moved on to our third instalment, and in which the Stormcast and Seraphon invade the 8 points to thwart a Gaunt summoner who's attempting to open the realm gate to Azir. The resulting destruction breaks several important realm gates, and the carefully laid out geomantic energy is disrupted, and basically it severs the link between the Stormcast and Azir, so they can't go back to Sigmar. Be'lakor takes advantage of the havoc and tries to regain his lost glory after coercing Lady Alinda to join the cause. The Dark Master invades Shaman and lays siege to the mighty city of Vindicarum, and they are eventually saved by a mysterious white-bearded Dwarden. So, in this book, we had Be'lakor leading the... well, actually, it doesn't even say it. It doesn't even say Slaves to Darkness. It says Night Haunts, Caradron Overlords, Seraphon, and the Disciples of Zinch. So, Broken Realms Kragnos, it says, we can't tell you much about the story quite yet, but you've already seen some of the absolutely incredible models that will accompany the next book. If you need a refresher, we're happy to oblige. All of these characters have a part to play in the final chapter of the Broken Realms saga, and given the intensity of the first 3 books, this one is going to be huge. So, it was really strange because I was actually chatting in the comments a video or 2 ago with Ryan Burris, and we were saying that we actually thought there'd be books after Kragnos, maybe Lariel, who would maybe discuss about, Kragnos and why that was kind of a key point in the Broken Realms saga, but obviously that's not going to be anymore. The article goes on to say that there's lots of things happening to do with Broken Realms on a Monday, and it's no coincidence that on Monday it is our first day of Warhammer Fest and it is Age of Sigmar, and that they really strongly suggest that we will kind of revisit there because there's going to be a reveal as to what Kragnos is, and it kind of goes on to say what exactly is Kragnos anyway. So we have had those factions that we've discussed appear in the Broken Realms so far. But we don't have the following, they've not actually appeared really yet. We've not had Fire Slayers, Sylvaneth, Beasts of Chaos, Blades of Khorne, Hedonites of Slaanesh, Skaven, Gloomspite Gits, Ogre Morg tribes, Auric war clans, or Sons of Behemoth, which is a huge amount. If you think of the previous books, kind of looking at between 5 and 4 factions at a time, to have the final book with all of these factions in, I'm not entirely sure how they're going to shoehorn them together whilst giving each faction their kind of time in the sun, as it were. So we've got these models here. We've got we know that these kind of factions will appear probably in Kragnos. We've got Seraphon because we've got Lord Croak, Sylvaneth, we've got the Warsong Revenant, probably Cities of Sigmar because we've got Galen and Doralia Vendensts, and Hedonites of Slaanesh because we've got Sinessa and Dexessa. So even with those kind of taken out of the equation, we're still missing Fire Slayers, Beasts of Chaos, Blades of Khorne, Skaven, and then Gloomspite, Ogre, Auric, and Sons of Behemoth. I don't know whether they're kind of going to put all of those destruction together under Gordrak, or how they're going to put them in. There's still a good chunk of factions missing. And we still have Excelsis to talk about. We've still got the Strange Dwarden, the Whitebeard, who we've kind of been covering in the Chronicles of the Wanderer series. So there is a huge chunk of narrative that we still haven't even talked about. And this kind of, I'll be honest, concerns me a bit that Kragnos is going to be loads of factions at once, and it's going to be, skimmed over, and that the kind of key players aren't going to have too much time being focused upon. I really did think that we would end up with at least another 2 books, at least another 1 book for sure after Kragnos, but we've learned today that that won't be the case anymore. So I'm really not sure what they're going to show us on Monday. I imagine it's going to be Kragnos, and they're going to maybe let us in on which factions are going to appear. But it will be really interesting to see which ones we get. It did come as a shock today. I'll be honest with you. I really did think that we would be seeing it spread over a bit more time. And also, in the lead up to, I guess, 3rd edition. So on Monday, we've got Age of Sigmar. Tuesday's 40k, this is for Warhammer Fest. Wednesday's Black Library. Thursday's box sets. Friday's 40k again. And Saturday, it's a mystery. So I imagine Saturday is when we'll hear about 3rd edition. Now, there have been rumours that we will get the kind of the pre-order box set in June, which isn't long, to wait by any stretch. So it would kind of make sense that Kragnos would be released pretty quickly, and then that would kind of lead into the 3rd edition. The other thing is this, on the Warhammer community website, quite a while ago, they published this. It was called The Mysteries of the Mortal Realms, and it was talking about, kind of things that were not discussed or, were interesting. So we had about the Light of Eltharion, about realm gates, and I suppose it says here, how did the God King travel to the realms in the first place? Does Bugman's brewery exist? Is Dracothian real? Has Slaanesh escaped? What's Urgold? Do giant lizards live on the Bad Moon? And where is Malarian? And I imagine that some of these kind of questions would be answered during the Broken Realms narrative. And again, there are some things here that we haven't had the answers to yet. And you would imagine that would tie in too with Slaanesh, maybe Dracothian, Urgold, and also the kind of Bad Moon with Seraphon. I imagine Gloomspite Gits will be in the next one, because we've had, there was a story, a narrative called The Squint, where we learned about Skragrot, and he was, again, kind of alluding to the fact that Excelsis would fall. And then we've got Malarian too. So really, it's going to be, I think, a really interesting reveal on Monday, and I'll definitely be doing a kind of follow-up video based upon this, once we've kind of got the news about what this is going to be. So I would love to get your thoughts and opinions about the fact that Kragnos will be the final book in the Broken Realms narrative. What do you think? Were you surprised about this? How do you think they're going to do it? Are you looking forward to it as well? Do you think that the books should be spread out, or are you excited to see how Games Workshop kind of puts all this information across? I have to say, each of the Broken Realms stories I think so far has been great. I have had my favourites, but the quality of them hasn't disappointed by any stretch, and I'm sure the Kragnos one will be just as well written and will be a really interesting lead up to the kind of third edition of Age of Sigmar. Thank you very much for joining me once again. I really do appreciate your time, and I hope you're excited for Monday as well. Looking forward to chatting with you in the comments below and getting your opinions on all that has been revealed so far. If you could drop a like and subscribe to the channel, that would be absolutely brilliant, and looking forward to speaking to you once again. See you soon, and thanks very much. Goodbye.